Arsenal gave the best that they could at this stage with the players that they had. As you said it most, you had Jorginho, you had Kai Havertz, you had maybe 3 or 4 players in their squad that have had a deep run in Champions League that know what it takes. You talked about the fans going to Germany. They did well. I wouldn't take anything away from Arsenal.
Welcome to this one. As an Arsenal fan, what is your emotions? What's your general thoughts about this game?
Mine is an emotion of disappointment. Would I say sadness? You know, I wanted Arsenal to go farther than this. Definitely, as an Arsenal fan, I wanted them to do better I wanted them to beat Bayern Munich, and I thought they had enough in terms of both skill, organization and passion and whatever they needed to be able to overcome Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have been poor this season, so I expected us now to summon up everything they needed to beat Bayern, but it didn't work out that way. I've always had perspective. I will try to apply perspective in everything I do, especially with supporting Arsenal. I know that this team is on a journey, and I know that so far so good in terms of being able to overcome obstacles, being able to learn from experience, being able to take the steps they need to do to move forward. So losing against Bayern is nothing to be ashamed of as far as I'm concerned. They had opportunities, yes, to win, but they didn't. And these things happen in football.
Yeah, Uche, let me ask you, oftentimes you hear coaches talk about atmosphere in their stadium. And like example, last week, when Dortmund lost in Spain, their manager said that the 12th man helped Atletico Madrid on the night. That when they go back to Germany, that he expects that the same thing will happen to his team, and they will manage to use it as a strength, a point of strength to win and turn the tide around. Do you think that somehow the Arsenal fans, Arsenal players, we are faced with the atmosphere in Alliance Arena? You're mute.
Please pardon me. Losing today has really affected decision making. Okay. But yes, first of all, I will have to say that I am not 100% in support of the point that Arsenal fans were phased because of the fans at Allianz Arena, because they didn't have any fans at the Emirates, but we drew with them 2-2. I can say very strongly that some of the issues has to do with experience. I believe that Mr. Odunze really made a very good point, which is I felt we had everything it took, and I felt it was the right time to play Bayern Munich. In terms of they're not at their best, we are fast, we're young, we are hungry, and we seem very motivated. So to put it on the fans would be taking away what I haven't watched the game, what I think is a problem. I'll give you an example. There was a time in the first leg where Gabriel and Saliba went for the same football. They don't do that in the league. So that showed a lot of anxiety. That showed that they were jittery. It showed the lack of experience needed to move on. So I don't think the fans, of course, they always have to play, but I don't think they really affected the game much. First half for me was a beautiful half of tactics. There was watching, and Martinelli, Saka were helping the backline very well. So I really enjoyed that, as it were. But when we started going forward, you could see that this is still a very young team, as it were. So,
yeah. Let me ask you quickly. I watched that game first half. Arsenal is a team that most of their strength comes from the wing. Saka, Martinelli, these boys, they know how to, they isolate defenders, put in crosses or dribble in and create chances for. Arsenal found it very difficult to isolate the left back and the right back. Saka couldn't find himself one-on-one with the defender a lot of times. The same thing Martinelli. Anytime they had the ball, he was always in transition and there was always a crowd, so they couldn't really maneuver. They had to go back. What do you think Arsenal did not do well today to get Saka and Martinelli one-on-one with whoever that was defending against them? Or what did Bayern do to stop them from being able to do that?
Yeah, this is the part where I want to, take on all the coaches in the current Champions League season. They have been so elementary in the sense that I haven't seen any tactical masterclass. Please don't get me wrong. I know what I'm saying, because what they have gone for is to nullify key players. Which you and I can do as a coach. You study your key players, nullify them. You can see how awful it makes Erling Haaland look like. So the players who have thrived are players who have taken initiatives, who have tried to be themselves, who have not put themselves in that box of the coach, who have been allowed free roll, to do what they want to do. Where it works fine. We have seen how Vinicius have been, aged somewhat in both styles. Now, let me come to Arsenal. I don't want to analyze Arsenal again. I want to just congratulate Arsenal. I want to congratulate those boys for what they have done. Taking the Premiership form into the Champions League after being out for so many years and gotten to this point. I won't judge Arteta. I won't say, hey, you didn't do well. In fact, if I see Arteta, I'll give him a hug. I will shake him strongly. You have tried. I will hug all the boys, pat them on the back. They did great. Coming, into this Champions League and then getting to the quarterfinals. It's been a tough journey, and for them to get this far, it's something they should really be proud of themselves. They should pick up themselves, focus on the league, which naturally I would think should be their priority. Not even the Champions League. So it's a competition they are going to get matured in. They have another shot. They automatically have another shot at it next season. So they need to ramp up some level of experience and take what they have learned, so far in this season's Champions League into next season's Champions League, because nobody is going to be take them lightly next season, because they are coming with some level of vengeance. They are coming with some level of experience. So, and if they don't even take time, they are going to get out at the knockout group stages. If they don't put their brain to work, So for me, Arsenal did great. They did great. I won't take away anything from them. Arteta did great. The boys did great. And for me, it's been a good European Champions League season for Arsenal. They should get back to England, have a good shower, eat good food, prepare for Chelsea on Saturday, trash Chelsea, and lay the mark down for the next 5 games. And trust me, they can do it. They all need to keep their heads calm and, play their game. And if they do what they're supposed to do, they can still win this league. City has a lot of, baggage. City are going to have very much tired legs going into playing FA Cup, I think on Sunday or so. And then, with other games to come. So, for me, Arsenal, well done. They did great.
So, Babatunde, you support Real Madrid. This is a team, Champions League, like we said, 15 times. They are in their 13th semi-finals or so, if I'm not wrong. So, as a fan that is experienced, I've seen it year in, year out, your team be successful in this competition. What did you see? What can you tell if you were to talk to the Arsenal players or Arsenal fans or Arteta? What did you see, good or bad, about them in this time, both legs?
Thank you. I think you have said it all. If you look at this competition, I think it requires some experience. And those boys are still young and they are coming for the fact that they have engaged themselves in the Champions League for the long period of time, over 8 years. I give them a kudos. They tried, as far as I'm concerned. We just need to give them more support, at least for them reaching this stage. No. Even though some team that has been coming for a long period of time, they are out before them. So to me, each players have done very well. Yes, they need some experience as well too. But if I don't know how that is going to work, but to me, I think they are learned their lesson. And next season, like my brother said, that they should be focusing on the next year. And the league is still on, so there is a room for improvement. So I think we should give this to them. They've tried as far as I'm concerned.
Nimi, you've been smiling. I know you have millions of words to drop on this one. You can't wait. Let's have you. I don't even want to ask you a question.
You don't need to ask me any question. The first thing first, I want to look at Odunze's face. He'll be wearing that Chelsea JC. I'm not a prophet, but God has blessed me to read games. First of all, I don't appreciate you, Reggie, now flip-flopping. If you stand on one principle. When we talked about Bayern Munich versus Arsenal the first time, I did talk about experience. I did talk about pedigree. I did talk about all of those things. The fact that your players don't have that experience when it comes to the bright lights, when it comes to the second leg. You shut me down. You and Odunze talked about nothing like experience.
What did I say? What did I say? Remind me.
You said that does not count. Arsenal
no, I didn't say that. That's not.
Watch that video again.
No, bring the video. I never told you that.
Come on. But let me say it this way. Arsenal gave the best that they could at this stage with the players that they had. As you said it most, you had Jorginho, you had Kai Havertz, you had maybe 3 or 4 players in that squad that have had a deep run in Champions League that know what it takes. You talked about the fans going to Germany. They did well. I wouldn't take anything away from Arsenal, especially the first half possession. 2 to 48% possession. Arsenal had that. But again, it comes down to the nitty-gritty experience. Who's going to be that person to lead them out? I watched Arsenal today. I didn't see the fight. I didn't see the hunger. I didn't see all of that in today's game. And, I'm not the one to talk about, let's try to do next year. No, it's all about when it comes, you got to take, when it comes, you have to take that opportunity and you have to run with it. There is no next year. It's all now. That mentality, I heard one of the co-hosts talk about he will hug Arteta, he will do all this stuff. No, that's that mentality. That's not a winning mentality. You're going into the Champions League, you're going there to win. You're going into there.
You're Chelsea fan talking rubbish about mentality.
And you can't be.
Your team is languishing 11th in the league. You're here bragging about mentality. Let me beg, short it. Let me hear a word. You're talking about mentality.
You gotta,
please.
You have to cut Arsenal some slacks. I'm not always kind with words for Arsenal, but you see, I need to cut Arteta and the boys some slacks.
Let me
where I will come back to Arsenal is when.
With all due respect, you said everything you have to say, Nimi.
No. Let me land.
Let me ask you one quick question. Okay, so
I wanted to land on something real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Odunze may agree or may not agree. We've seen this play out season after season. When it comes to the tail end of the season, there's these hiccups that come. Whether you accept it or you don't accept it, it's an impediment, it's a problem. How do they go past this? They are 2 points away from the league. All the focus will be on the league. If I was an Arsenal fan, Arsenal going out, I would have loved Manchester City to still be in the Champions League. So they have distractions, games, when it comes to the running for the league title. Now Manchester City has practically the league to fight for. So I'm looking forward, again, sorry to the Arsenal fans that'll come back next year. We're hoping that this year, you should be hoping that this season, some of those loopholes in the team, there will be summer purchases where, they will purchase.
Let me just hold you on that. I don't like it when whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Real Madrid, Chelsea, or Liverpool. I don't like it when people try to engage what I call lazy analysis of football. When you say every season, put this in perspective. I always say it. John Klopp came to Liverpool with pedigree. He won league in, I think he won league in Germany, coaching 2 or 3 other countries. He came to Liverpool. It took him 4 years. In fact, at the 4th year, Liverpool fans was beginning to say he should be fired. He was on the 5th year that he won. He's been there now 8 years. He has only 1 league title. So are you not going to tell that Liverpool every time they are near there? There was a season they lost. They were on the top of the league for weeks, and they lost the league by 1 point to City. Nobody said every season that every time Liverpool is saying this thing. Nobody said that. Pep has been in City now for 8 years. For 5 years, he couldn't go past quarterfinals. Nobody said every year because he's Pep, because he has won somewhere before. But eventually, he crossed the line last year and won it. So when you to come here and say every time, and every time for Arsenal was under Wenger, and this was when Wenger stopped investing in the team and was selling best players, was trying to win Champions League with boys of 18 and 19 years, which is not possible. Then Wenger left. Arteta came in, he's building a new team. And he's making progress. And you're telling me every season they will say near miss. So now, since it's all about winning, Chelsea invested $1 billion. Are you going to tell me that Chelsea should have won the league this season?
I think you're missing. I think Arsenal.
No, you're saying that people once you have it winning. I'm asking should Chelsea have won it this season?
You made mention of Liverpool. In the span of that Liverpool team, they still had, even when this guy came, Klopp came, they still had players that have, that have gone through UEFA Cup final, players that have gone through Champions League.
Exactly, and it still took him 4 years.
But what I'm saying is, you're getting me wrong. I'm not saying Arsenal hasn't made progress. I gave credit to Arsenal, and I said
you ended up by saying that every year they keep saying there's impediment. So it takes time to go to that stage. That's my point.
What I'm saying, you're getting me wrong. The premise of my statement, when I started out, even when we spoke 3-4 weeks ago, I said Arsenal getting to this stage already. They've made progress. I give Arteta his flowers every season. The way they've been playing, there's been progress. But they say a wise man, you would always see there's always room for improvement. For me personally, I think for the room for improvement will be there are some departments that I see Arsenal needs to improve on. The first place I will talk about is the left back. There has to be an improvement on that left back position for Arsenal. There has to be an improvement on the striker position. I don't know about what you guys think. Has the Kai Havertz situation worked? The false 9 and Kai Havertz, has that worked fully? Is that some place that they need to invest in? Are they going to invest in a replacement for Saka, or when Saka is not from that right-hand side? So these are questions. Jorginho is not getting any younger. Partey is injury prone. These are places that, for me, I will go invest in experienced players that have done this in the highest level that can do it for Arsenal. Let's give Arsenal some flowers. They did well coming to this stage. The point I'm trying to make is last season, during the business end of the season, when Partey had injuries, there was a slump. 8-9 games to the end of the season, 7-8 games to the end of the season. This season, the same thing has happened. Right now, they have to put their head up. That's why you have to have a leader.
Okay,
Someone that has...
let me ask you.